Hey everyone, I'm John. I collect cards, and I'm coming to you on Saturday evening here, July 9th, with a very important card to show you for my collection. And without further ado, here it is. Okay, I'm kidding. This isn't the actual card, although it's a pretty cool card. Uh, this was from Topps', oh gosh, what do they call these? The sort of what if cards from, I think it was last year's update. Ernie Banks from if he had a 1953 Topps card, because he did play in 1953. It's actually numbered to 299. I pulled this out of a pack last winter during update. Thought it was a fun little card to keep, but that's not why I'm here to show you that. But it's about the card that really came out the year after 1953. Um, I mentioned, I think in my last video, that I've managed to acquire the 1954 Ernie Banks rookie, and it arrived today, and I'm very happy about it. It is a well loved card. Let's put it that way. It is a PSA graded card, but it is not a one. It is a 1.5 fair, and here it is. Just arrived this afternoon after getting authenticated by eBay, or I think they send them out to CSG, but they take that extra step to do it, and I'll show you that stuff in a bit. If you haven't gotten anything graded or authenticated by eBay recently, since they started that whole thing, but here is my 1954 Ernie Banks rookie. I love it. It's was in the budget that I could swing. His prices are coming, I think, just vintage, or they're definitely leveling off a little bit, and possibly even dropping a little bit. They're definitely easing, I think. So this is a card that, so it's a 1.5 and recently graded. It was actually, you could tell easily by if you follow PSA grading, it was graded earlier this year. It was February 28th. It was graded, so not long ago. What I really like about this is that there don't appear to actually be any creases. For a 1.5, that's relatively amazing. And I've looked at it quite a bit since I've gotten it, and I can't find any. Maybe there's one in here that's really small and hard to notice, but I'm not seeing it. What I'm seeing are well-loved corners, I'm putting it that way. There's a tiny bit here that's actually missing from the bottom left corner, so loved to the point where it's the card is actually fading away a little bit. But what I really like about this example is, well, first, that I was able to acquire it, and it's centered for the better part. For the most part, the centering on this is pretty good, because if you follow vintage, in this particular set, you probably know that this card, number 94, is notorious for very rounded corners there, as you can see. It's notorious for top, bottom, off center, whereas the top is so bad that it often, Ernie Banks' name is literally flush against the top of the card, or even cut into. So sometimes the cut of the card even cuts into his name and the black line that outlines the Cub logo. A lot of examples of that where you see that, or very, very closer than it is here. And I really wanted to try to avoid that if at all costs. I'm definitely more of a centering person than a corners person, and for me, like, this is I love this example, and I'm saying that because it's mine, sure, and I just love having it. It's great. The paper loss actually isn't too bad on this either. It's obviously there, but it's not like there are white patches all over the card. There's some white specks, but overall, this isn't, again, for what this is, I really enjoy having this in my collection now. So I actually put in an offer for this card on eBay probably about 2 months ago, and the seller basically said thanks but no thanks, which is totally fine. I didn't lowball, but I wasn't super duper close to what he was offering, which I can't remember what that number was actually, but I was a little off of that, maybe more than a little, but it wasn't a lowball. But he came back down with his price recently, and instead of me offering an even lower price, I actually, because I really wanted it after sort of looking at some more a decent more of these online in the interim in between. When he came down with the price, I offered the same price that I offered before, which was still below what he was asking, but it was close to what he was asking, and he accepted it pretty quickly. So we had a deal, and I was convinced that this was the best 1.5 that I was going to find. It's even better, I think, than twos. There are a good number of twos this is better than, because a lot of twos have noticeable creases, and I'm not seeing them readily on this one. I just think, I mean, the listing claimed that had no creases, and I think it's legit. Now, again, I could be wrong, and I'm just not seeing something on here. I've looked at it a good amount. I looked at it, of course, a lot online. I just think it's a really well-loved card. Played with, maybe, and I don't know if it was in bike spokes and all that jazz, but this, and those are the kinds of, these are some of the kinds of cards that I really enjoy having, when you know that they were treasured in the past by somebody, and and now I'm going to treasure it for years to come, which I'm really excited about. So I wanted to show this to you today. I now need one card in this set, and it is Hank Aaron, and we'll see where that quest goes. In the days, weeks, months, years, even possibly to come. We'll see. Oh, really quick, I wanted to show you about eBay. If you have not gotten a card from them since they've done this authentication service, I just wanted to show you really quick what you get. To me, I think it's a really ridiculous branding exercise, almost to the point where it's obscene for me anyway. I mean, come on. It's like and look at the branding on this. Here's, it came in this bag, the actual card did, which is fine. And it has this little eBay hologram that tells you basically what data was authenticated. I'm sort of, talking a little smack about this whole thing, but for a card that's already graded by PSA, I don't really see the reason for this exercise. And of course here it says void if damaged. Well, I guess the whole authentication thing was, null and void at this point. It did come in a PSA bag, which I don't know if they're also sending these out to PSA as well. And if they did, to have PSA authenticate their own card that they graded 4 months ago, 4.5 months ago, is just silly. But what they also, I'm being a little critical there and opinionated about it, but I found the exercise kind of ridiculous. I mean, they give you this whole rigmarole. Again, if this is a raw card, then I can understand why they're doing it, even though eventually they're going to make money off of it too, I'm sure, because they're going to end up passing the costs on to us in some fashion. It's still free for now, but then they say this whole thing could be a frame, and it's like, yeah, I'm going to set it up as a display to, advertise for eBay. I mean, there's an eBay right here. I mean, come on. I'm not going to do that. I mean, it's nice. It's a nice, the materials are, but this is just flimsy cardboard here. But, the thought, I guess, is okay. But for this piece, it's a nice magnetic thing. The materials are kind of nice. But, again, it's just a big branding exercise. And not my cup of tea. Maybe for some of you, if you enjoy displaying like that, go for it. The actual piece is nice. In terms of the feels is nice and all that, and it flips over to a frame. That's kind of cool, but not for me, and I just don't like having the eBay brand splashed all over it. I think it's kind of, again, not for me. So let me get this out of the camera, and so you can actually see Mr. Banks there with his Cubs teammates from 1954, as he was just finding his way in the National League. Hank Sauer was an NL MVP was he NL MVP in 53? I want to say he may have been. I remember these backs to some degree. Fractured. 52, he was the MVP. He was out for a good chunk of 53, apparently. Yeah, so. But he had a few good years with the Cubs there. And he got a couple of pitchers and an outfielder next to him there. But there you have it. An Ernie Banks rookie is now in my possession, and I couldn't be happier about it. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you have a great rest of your weekend. I'll see you on the next video. Bye for now.